Once upon a chilling Halloween night, the moon shrouded in an eerie mist. The small town of Black Hollow prepared for its annual Halloween festival. Little did they know that this Halloween would be unlike any other, for something malevolent lurked in the shadows of Halloween Hill. In the heart of the town stood an old, decrepit mansion, ominously named the Horst Manor. The mansion had a dark history, whispered about by the townsfolk for generations. Legend had it that a wicked sorceress named Alara once lived there, practicing dark magic and wreaking havoc on the innocent. As the sun set and darkness blanketed the town, a group of daring teenagers decided to test their courage by exploring the Horst Manor. Among them were Sarah, the fearless leader, Mark, the skeptic, Lily, the believer, and James, the thrill seeker. The wind howled as they approached the creaking gates of the mansion. Adorned with ominous cobwebs, Sarah led the group up the overgrown, twisting path to the front door. The air grew colder and a shiver ran down their spines. Pushing the creaking door open, they entered the manor, the musty smell of decay filling their nostrils. Cobwebs hung like ethereal curtains, and the flickering candlelight cast eerie shadows on the walls. As they ventured deeper, they stumbled upon a hidden chamber, adorned with peculiar artifacts and a weathered book. Lily picked up the book, flipping through its pages to reveal incantations and ominous illustrations. Unbeknownst to them, their presence had awakened the spirit of Alara. A ghastly figure emerged from the shadows, her eyes glowing a malevolent red. With a blood-curdling shriek, she cast a curse that sealed their fate. Terrifying visions haunted the group as Alara's ghostly minions appeared, pursuing them through the mansion. The walls seemed to close in, shifting and contorting, trapping them in a nightmarish labyrinth. In a desperate bid for escape, the group split up, their screams echoing through the halls. Sarah and Mark found themselves in a seemingly endless corridor. They felt the presence of evil closing in, whispering dreadful promises of doom. Lily and James, on the other hand, stumbled upon a crypt beneath the mansion. The air grew heavier as they realized the crypt belonged to Alara herself. In her wickedness, she conjured illusions that twisted their minds, forcing them to confront their deepest fears. As the clock struck midnight, a bone-chilling laughter reverberated through the mansion. Alara's curse had taken its toll, and the group was ensnared in a nightmarish realm, destined to be part of her unholy domain forever. Legend has it that on every Halloween night, the Horst Manor rises from the shadows, beckoning unsuspecting souls. Beware, for the spirits of Alara and her cursed victims still roam, seeking to claim more souls to their accursed fate on Halloween Hill. Once upon a chilling October evening, in a quaint, eerie little town, lived a young boy named Timmy. Timmy was an adventurous lad, fascinated by the mysterious and unknown. As Halloween approached, he couldn't contain his excitement. He was determined to explore the notorious haunted house that stood ominously at the edge of town. The house was a decrepit Victorian mansion, abandoned for decades, shrouded in tales of horror. Its walls were cracked and stained, with ivy crawling up the sides, and its windows were like vacant eyes, peering into the darkness. Locals whispered about the dreadful events that had taken place within those walls, making it a chilling spectacle each year. On the eve of Halloween, a misty fog enveloped the town, enhancing the eerie atmosphere. Timmy, along with his friends, Benny and Sarah, gathered at the town square, their breath visible in the frigid air. They exchanged nervous glances, excitement mixing with apprehension, as they prepared to enter the haunted house. As they approached the mansion, a gust of wind rattled the trees, creating ghostly shadows that danced across the ground. The front door creaked open, seemingly beckoning them to enter. Timmy, fueled by curiosity and a dash of fear, led the way. The air inside was damp and musty, the smell of decay lingering around them. Cobwebs hung from the ceiling like ghastly decorations, and the flickering candlelight cast eerie shadows on the walls. They cautiously stepped forward, each footfall echoing through the desolate hallways. As they explored further, strange sounds filled the air, whispers and distant footsteps, as if the house itself were alive. They reached a room that seemed to be the center of the malevolence, adorned with old portraits that appeared to watch their every move. A sudden, bone-chilling gust of wind slammed the door shut behind them, trapping them inside. Panic set in as they desperately tried to open it, but it seemed to be sealed by an unseen force. Timmy gulped, realizing they were trapped in this haunted nightmare. In the dim light, they heard a faint melody, a hauntingly beautiful piano tune emanating from upstairs. Against their better judgment, they climbed the grand staircase, their hearts pounding louder with each step. The music grew louder and more discordant, sending shivers down their spines. They entered a room with an ancient piano, its keys playing by themselves. The melody seemed to be controlling the very essence of the house. Suddenly, the room went dark and the piano keys stopped. A hushed silence fell upon them. Out of nowhere, a ghostly figure materialized. A woman in a tattered gown, her face twisted in anguish. She pointed a bony finger toward a hidden passage. They hesitated, but the ghostly figure's anguished expression implored them to follow. The passage led to a hidden chamber where a horrific sight awaited them. It was a room filled with the spirits of children, their faces contorted in fear and suffering. Each one whispered a name, names of people who had lived in the town. Timmy's heart sank as he recognized the names of family and friends. It was a curse, a dark secret tied to this house, seeking vengeance for a past unknown. The children begged for their release, their voices echoing in the chamber. Realization struck Timmy. He had to break the curse to save them and himself. With trembling hands, he found an old diary and began reading aloud an incantation that would hopefully break the curse and free the trapped souls. As the incantation ended, the room quaked and the apparition started to fade away. The ghostly figure smiled, her face finally at peace as she too dissolved into the void. The door swung open, allowing Timmy, Benny, and Sarah to escape the now quiet mansion. The curse was broken, but the memory of that night haunted them forever. Halloween had passed, but the true horror they had experienced would remain etched in their minds, a tale to be shared for generations to come. A tale of a boy, a haunted house, and the restless spirit seeking release on All Hallows Evening.